doctor's office, right? And they're like, "Hey, yo, you're gonna die in 4 months, but hey, at least you have Minecraft Pocket
Hey,
Edition."
we're ready to go.
Exactly, dude.
Sandy, take it away.
Yeah. All right. Where's the camera? This is a podcast. We're here. I'm your host, Sandy. And joining me today is the man who ruined Rainbow Six Siege for me. I never want to open the game again because of him. And I have my co-host here.
You can't see it. I'm flipping you
Star.
off.
And so, who are you joined by? Who's that? Who's that? Sexy
Yes,
gamer?
I am the co-host or other host of this chaotic topic podcast we're starting. I'm StarBarx. We are joined by the one whose confusion is their middle name of quite literally everything in both their and my life.
No, their middle name is
Mello.
Kyle. What are you talking about?
Confusion. Mello, last, whatever you want to call them.
The main topic we're going to be talking about is going to be rushed games and delayed games and how they've sort of affected us and like the world around, We're just kind of going in depth about that.
Before we start, for everyone's clarification, we are now starting as you can probably tell, we are starting a new podcast titled Chaotic Topics, where you're always going to see me and Sandy here as we are the main hosts, and then we have special guests like TTC members or close friends that like to join us on these topics. Every day.
You can't get rid of me.
Every episode is going to have a main topic that we discuss, and we'll have a time where we can go on a little tangent, and then we have a time where we interact with you guys. And then we eventually close out, and we give a little hint as to what the next stream's going to entail. Alrighty then, so we may now starting now around 8:50, so we have like another hour. Sandy, take it away with our main topic.
All right, so what we really want to talk about today is like rushed games and how they piss us off. As a gamer who games, I can say delayed games, I'd rather a game get delayed than it get rushed for many reasons, right? See, if you take example of like Battlefield, I can't not bring up Cyberpunk. We've all heard of Cyberpunk, right?
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah,
here?
for sure. I'm pretty sure we've all heard of it.
That is one of the most.
Yeah, definitely.
That's not just a rushed game. That's also bringing bad
An
light to
unfinished
everything
game.
wrong with the gaming industry, like toxic workplace,
Yeah.
rushed deadlines, like. But then you have I just thought of this. You have examples of good rushed games, right? Fallout New Vegas. That was
Yeah.
made in 18 months. Literally. And it's one of the best. It pretty much revolutionized the branching storyline. I think it's called. It's more like a role play. Like your ability to do whatever you want in that game is pretty insane. And that was made in 18 months. But then you look at games like Battlefield, Cyberpunk, and I would
Then
even
you look at
stretch to
games-
say Halo Infinite. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. You also
Yeah.
look at games like Cold War that was made in 5 using, like the Activision's new engine, but it's so awful.
Yeah.
Like
a
Cold War,
game
and then
doesn't
there's
have
like
to be
Cold War, Vanguard. Those games were rushed, and they are kind of not the greatest.
And you were bringing up examples, and one of the ones you had said that I heard at the very end was Halo Infinite. And I'd say Halo Infinite is a very interesting thing we could go into later, because it's kind of that mix of it was a bit of it was rushed, but it's also being released in parts. And on top of that, 343 is doing something that not a lot of gaming companies do, and that's listening to their fans.
That is true. That's a
Yeah.
good point.
It is something they have been doing. It's really nice to see.
Yeah. And, Dying Light 2, we've all heard the good news about it. Shroud is still fucking playing it,
yeah,
of
dude.
course. Like,
That is true.
game took, what, like 5 years? What was it? To even come out?
Yeah, 5 years in delays.
I've played the game, and I'm really enjoying it. Very much.
Oh yeah, no.
And
the
I can
game is
definitely
beautiful.
tell that the game, like, the best part was when they did the trailers, they actually released footage on the older consoles on purpose. Because remember, Cyberpunk didn't do that. They purposely withheld
Yeah.
footage on older consoles because they knew it didn't run very well at all.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah. No, they were like,
I'm starting to.
can't
I
do
really
that.
wish we were going through an era where game companies just didn't listen to the consumer at all, where they just weren't caring,
No.
not even in the slightest.
Yeah, and
Just
to
listing
branch off
off.
that point. Go ahead, Mega.
I'm listing off games would include obviously Cyberpunk was there, Call of Call of Duty, Cold War, and whatever the other one that came after Cold War was, I forgot.
Mm.
It was just not impactful whatsoever. You can actually throw in Warzone in that, because once Warzone
True.
became the main focus, that would follow suit in that. I'm just trying to think of all the games that would follow into that. Battlefield didn't really listen well.
No.
When it comes to when it comes to industries that just didn't listen to the consumer, it's again, you bring up Halo Infinite, they are the complete opposite of that. They did exactly everything they should have done, which was listen to their consumer.
Except we can get into the cosmetics later. We can talk about that at another time.
The cosmetics,
I'm just saying.
yeah. Well, even with the cosmetics, because people were one of the things they did, and why I listed them off as a company that listens to their consumer is that people were complaining that the cosmetics were too expensive. They lowered the price. They cut it in half. Things that were
Oh, I was
$10
not
are now
aware of that.
$5.
I
No,
wasn't aware
it
of
was
that.
the main reason I brought that up because even when it comes to things that would cost them money, they listened. So yeah, we're wanting to list off the pros and cons of rushed and delayed games. Obviously,
Yeah.
when we start with rushed, the one and only pro is that you can play the game as soon as possible.
That's granted the
Rushed,
game even runs.
Yeah, fair enough.
presuming the game runs. The game is released early.
Cyberpunk.
The game.
Sorry, I had a cough.
The game is released. The game is released either on time or even early, and people start rushing to play the game. Sometimes the game doesn't run at all, and when the game does run, it's normally fucking shit.
Yeah, I can bring up like an example of like rush deadlines was Red Dead Redemption 2, which granted wasn't a bad game upon release. Now we can get into the game difficulty later, you know, the sandbox and how Rockstar treats their audience like children. But we can get that into another time. That's a different topic.
And the fact that like Rockstar likes to switch from an AB road.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
AB road, like, yeah, one is like an open world. Hey, do it however you want, or hey, you have to follow these specific steps. Yeah, like
it's
like
kind of like
GTA 3. GTA 3 was like a perfect example of like sandbox done right. You know, and then you have like these
Hey,
missions where
Mega.
in GTA 5, if you do this wrong thing, you fail the mission instantly. You know.
Omega goes offset and absolutely dies. Let's talk about something everybody is familiar with, you know? Let's talk about GTA 5. Everyone's familiar with it. We've all
Yeah,
played
GTA
it.
5. Yes.
Now, what do you think?
Yeah.
Now, what do you think about how Rockstar does their yearly like big updates?
Yeah.
Whew.
How do you feel about those?
While it's good that they're keeping on a consistent schedule, it it might be a somewhat consistent schedule. I feel like they're so focused on staying on those deadlines that they're not 100% focused on keeping the updates actually good. They're just throwing out things to get it out there.
Content, yeah.
And you know what that's
as well
called?
as they do
That's called
weekly.
milking. Rockstar has a really bad problem with milking something until it is absolutely dead.
Bone dry.
Just dead.
Yeah, that's very true.
Like right now, like it's that meme where it's like that really old cow still getting milked for everything it's got. GTA 5 released in 2013, man.
That's fucking crazy.
There are memes everywhere joking about the release of GTA 6 and how it's like never going to happen.
GTA 5 GTA 5 has seen three consoles.
It's been
While
through
the
literally
rest of the
3
games-
generations of 12-year-olds. I'm not even shitting you.
Big three generations of people that don't know how to count or read.
Yeah, there are literally okay. Just imagine this: there are people alive that GTA 5 is older than them.
And
God,
that's
yeah,
crazy.
that
That is fucking
no,
scary.
that is
Like,
terrifying.
I remember sitting back when the game was like not really new, it was like a couple months old. I remember sitting down at a friend's house and he had his Xbox 360 on the floor because we were at a sleepover, right? And he had his little like nano fucking like a camcorder,
Yeah.
and he put it inside of a shoe to prop it up so you could see the TV, and he would upload that on his YouTube channel. And I remember the first game he played was GTA 5, and of course I didn't know what it was. This was like it was in middle school. The only games I had really played was Call of Duty. So I see this game where you can just like run around and basically do anything, and it was fucking insane, right? And now I look back at GTA 5, and all I remember is the oppressor and how pissed off I was after playing. And it's because
That's
of
so
those
true.
Mark
updates.
II, the Hydras, the the Deluxos, every flying vehicle, the Stromberg, the submarine.
And you know why? It's
the
because
Avenger,
instead of putting those ideas
Akuma.
in another GTA game, like maybe making a futuristic GTA game, nah. Throw that in GTA 5. It's totally fine. It's balance.
Yeah, no,
Never
and the
fucking heard of it.
And the game itself is based in 2017.
That's fucking crazy.
Like I remember playing the game where if you went into a decent sized public lobby, you wouldn't die every corner you turned. I remember when there were actually nicer
That's
players
crazy.
that would stop and talk to you. And now, if I ever want to play with my friends online in a public lobby, I get on there. Literally, I take 5 steps, I'm dead. And I'm dead. I take another 5 steps, I'm dead again. I can't keep going.
No, you guys remember the fucking gang wars, right?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
The
That
Green
shit.
Gang, Purple Gang.
The green
Gang
oh
for
my god. I still remember when we were on, I believe it was your party bus. That we
Yeah,
went
I
to,
bought a party
and
bus
we
and
just-
we would
Yeah.
Mm.
and we
Oh,
would
wait a
just
second.
vibe. All of us would just vibe to that. GTA, but again, GTA wasn't a rushed game. They just have another problem. Rockstar doesn't have a problem with rushing games. They have a problem with milking them.
They
CD
do have
Projekt
a
Red, on
problem
the
with
other
rushing
hand,
updates, though.
They rush updates.
True.
They try to
They
stick
do
to a
rush
deadline
updates.
and then they just throw
spam
out
updates.
yeah, and they just throw out random
Yeah.
shit that
Yeah,
we
it's
don't
like
need.
Bi-weekly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like bi-weekly, weekly new things. It's just too much sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah.
It looks like we got one of our guest stars back.
It looks
I
like
returned it.
it looks like Mega's
For
back. So we can
roughly
get back to the
23
main.
minutes.
We can tie it back to the main point. Let's talk about the cons. The cons of a rushed game. No.
Okay, so
literal
cons of a
yeah.
rush game.
Oof.
We can talk more about that.
Well,
Oh wait, we've been talking about that. We can go to
Cons-
we can switch to delayed games if you guys want.
I mean,
Sure.
like the pros of delayed
Delayed
games, though, is easily able to be seen within Dying Light 2. That is
Yes.
the best example of a delayed game done right. Now,
Yeah.
delayed games done wrong, also Cyberpunk, because they delayed it like a lot of times and still
They delayed it
was
a lot. It was
rushed
rushed
product.
and delayed. It was
Mm.
Cyberpunk is
matter
basically
of-
the example of what not to do at all.
'cause
Don't
Yeah.
do this if
I
you're
mean,
a
thing
company.
is that- what you got to keep in mind with when calling something a rushed game is how long the finished product was made, because Cold War was technically in development for 2 years, but the final product was only 5 months worth of development.
Yeah, most of it was recycled.
And
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
most yeah, that's the thing. It's like there are many games out there that are in development for multiple years.
Here's a good example.
But
Modern
the
Warfare
finished product
2019.
having only been
Modern Warfare 2019 is
Yeah.
a good example of a delayed game. It was delayed for like what, 2 months, I believe. It was
Yeah.
delayed past its due date. I remember that very well. And how did the game turn out? When it first came out, it was really fucking good. I remember all of us hitting that shit up.
Oh yeah,
That
no,
shit
we
was fun
all
as
hit it
hell.
up.
Like-
I'd like to point out the downfall of 2019 Modern Warfare was when Warzone came out.
Warzone.
When
Exactly.
when
Yeah.
Warzone became.
But
not when it
but
came
the game
out,
had
when
already
it
been out.
became
The
the
game had
main
already been out for
focus.
4 months before Warzone, or 5 months before Warzone came out.
Dude,
But
'cause
when Warzone came out and
Yeah.
they integrated it
when-
with, it just took over.
Mm.
Yeah,
'Cause
and then tons of
stated that
streamers hopped on it.
with Warzone, the devs had stated that Warzone wasn't initially intended to be the main focus, but then it gained so much popularity that it became the main focus. And the issue with that came all of the other shit that happened with Warzone. With Warzone being
Yeah.
the main focus, everything in the regular game, namely its multiplayer, was just completely ignored. And so
Yeah.
it just kind of fell.
Yeah. Like, we wanted changes done to the multiplayer, maybe some new game modes, and they were like, nah, we're gonna update Warzone. And
We're gonna update
this
Warzone,
is a side
and
note.
then we're
this
gonna
is
make a
side note.
new game
This is
just
a
to
side note.
make
The game
more
had been
guns.
out. The game has been out like 2 years, right? It only has one
Yeah.
map.
I hope
They've updated it
I want you to know
so
as
many
well.
times, and they never thought to add a new map.
They've changed the
You
map
know
Right.
something
repeatedly.
also pretty wild.
They've changed it, but they didn't add anything new. They didn't
Well,
add
isn't it-
anything
Isn't
refreshing
the
to
Rebirth
play.
Island is
Well, yeah,
I mean, wouldn't
but
Rebirth
again,
Island
the
technically
game
count
had,
as a
no,
new
I'm talking
second
about
map?
two. I'm talking about when the game came out and it had already gained so much popularity. At its height, Warzone still only had one map, and then everybody switched to Rebirth. And I've played a little bit of Rebirth. It's pretty fun. It's still sweaty as all hell. You'll have people camping on top of roofs with the what is that gun from Cold War? The one with no recoil. That assault rifle that's still
so
meta.
like half the guns.
Yeah. No, if you're not using
Here's
the
the
thing with
thing.
Warzone is that it took the sandbox of Modern Warfare and basically made it into like 2 guns. That's it. If you're using
Yeah.
anything else, you're not going to be able to compete in Warzone at all. You just can't.
And that and
Some
the
things aren't
entire
viable.
sniper and designated marksman rifle categories.
Yeah, there's no need for them at all.
Here's my
Like,
thing.
just get a
We
Car
all-
98. That's all you need.
Yeah.
The thing for us, all 4 of us have consistently, namely the 3 of us, consistently made fun of Fortnite. The thing you can't deny, Fortnite as a game, at the very least, used to be a very balanced game.
True.
It was a very
It,
was just
it
that
also
people didn't know that.
revolutionized.
Yeah.
It also revolutionized
The main
the
issue that
entire
became-
like gaming world. To be honest, you can't
really did.
say that
Yeah.
Fortnite didn't assist in getting Warzone brought up. Like if it wasn't for
It
Fortnite,
really
let's
did.
be honest, most battle royales wouldn't exist.
If it,
That's-
if it
that's-
wasn't
that's
for
fair.
Fortnite.
Games like
Like, yeah.
if it wasn't for Fortnite,
Fortnite
games
didn't
like
exist.
Warzone and Apex wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Apex was initially just supposed to be Titanfall 3, but then they wanted to turn into a battle royale, and instead of it being a Titanfall 3, it just turned into Apex Legends.
And a brand new IP that still does successfully
And we can bring
well,
this.
like,
we can
really
make
well.
this a separate topic for another time. Revolutionary games.
Yeah.
But let's tie it back to
Yeah.
the main point. Rushed and delayed games. I think we can move on to the pros of a rushed game. Not very many. I don't think we can say.
Not very.
Again,
Not
the
very.
only pro is
An example
you get to
of
play the
Battlefield
game early.
5, for example. The only real thing about it, for example, Battlefield 5 is that it was kind of okay. It had a few glitches here and there. I played it. Most
I
of
would
them
still,
didn't.
again, even today, bringing up Battlefield. I mentioned this while playing Battlefield 2042. Even I think it was in my stream. I said if I had to choose any Battlefield game to play, I would play Battlefield 1. Hands down.
Oh,
I
yeah,
take
no.
that.
That's
any other
entirely
Battlefield.
valid.
Battlefield 1 was just it was amazing. And it was also released early. Remember the beta? The beta came out in like what?
Mm-hmm.
A year? It took like less than a year and we already had a beta, but the thing about the beta was it was already practically finished. It was like basically a finished game. The beta was awesome and it had like
Yeah.
what, 18 million players playing the beta? Now the server
Yeah.
at first, the servers at
main
first were a
issue
little bit
with-
cringe, especially at Argonne Forest. Yikes, the servers were a little
Yeah.
bit busted, but
As well
Looking
as there
back.
was a lot of glitches. Like, if you look back at it, every game since 2008 maybe, since
Yeah.
internet was widely popular, has always released with some game-breaking bugs,
Some
like
glitches, yeah.
game-breaking glitch.
but
Yeah.
with updates again, every Battlefield game came out, it's been
But
broken. But with
here's the thing,
updates, it's
that
gotten
is the-
better.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Chandler, that's what's supposed to be the point of betas. You release the betas to the public. That way, they can playtest the game and see if they can find any game-breaking bugs.
That's what I wish there
The
was like a
problem
platform
nowadays is
that
that-
developers could use to like release betas onto their game. So like it's like an unstable build of the game. So players can play it. You get a certain amount of glitches, you get the glitches fixed, then you release the live beta. And then when the beta goes live,
Yeah.
then
Like
you
the
address
alpha.
some of the lasting issues. Yeah. Like it's like a pre-alpha, but it's like a one platform that developers can use. And I think this platform could make millions of dollars doing that. Being like
Oh yeah, no, of course.
sort of like a unified
just as a
alpha.
business tip.
just as a
Anyone,
business
I
tip.
feel like anyone in the near future that just like sets up like any sort of website, forum, anything that allows companies to get in touch with you to do like any sort of beta testing, to find
Yeah.
game-breaking glitches. If you can prove yourself to be
Shit.
one of finding those kind of like YouTube channels, kind of like let's game it out kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
If you understand, you
Don't mind me, I
understand,
dropped
but
my
if
phone
you don't,
twice.
you need to understand. But those kinds of players would be very, very, very good beta testers, pre-alpha testers, before even
Yeah.
the live comes out.
They
Is that-
purposely try to find game breaking things so that you can fix it.
Yeah, and they think really outside the box. Like, see a game behind me over here, or like the computer. Like, well,
Yeah.
see now, they're like a what if I do this kind of guy or person. They're like,
And even
you
like
know-
using different specs of PCs, because not everybody's gonna have the same thing. Not everybody has a
Exactly.
3090. Some people are running like Intel built-in graphics, and some things might not render correctly in their game, like especially client-side bullshit, stuff like that.
yeah,
Like Rainbow Six Siege. People with higher spec just have an innate advantage over people with low spec, with like being able to render like melee holes and shit, and especially when bullet hole peeking was a thing. That's another reason why I got removed, was low spec literally could not see that, and it was just unfair as fuck. So having a place where you
So
can
anyway,
test
back on
it on
topic.
low spec and high spec, so you can like optimize
So-
games. Yeah.
Let's reel it back
Yeah.
in.
So the cons of delayed games. First off, you have the obvious con. You have the obvious con of the game is going to come out later than initially advertised. So
That can be a
but a
turn off for
pro
some
to
people.
that con, but a pro to that
it
con
can.
is that most players that buy the game for like they pre-purchase,
they'd rather.
most of
Yeah.
the time they get more stuff.
Yeah. So if
Mhm.
they
Yeah,
pre-order the
when
game
when
and it
games
gets
come
delayed,
out-
they still get more stuff.
Yeah. And because Extraction was like that. Rainbow Six Extraction,
Great
it
game,
was
by the way.
delayed. It got delayed, and not only did they end up lowering the price for Extraction, they added more stuff to the pre-order bundle. So I was able to pre-order it like a week before it came out and got a lot of extra shit to go with it.
Yeah. And
However,
also that is one of
another-
the only times I'll say Ubisoft did something right. Was Rainbow Six Extraction.
Yeah.
One of the only
Yeah.
times.
That was true.
Rainbow Six Extraction. Rainbow Six Extraction was one of the few games that did their betas right. Because they released the beta to content creators. The content creators ended up critiquing the game. People thought that because of these critiques and how other betas had gone, it was going to fail. They fixed the problems.
Yeah, and building off of to
Yeah.
your point, not only did they send it to content creators, they like not just content creators who are known at being good at the game, they sent it to people that were just known as the community as being really good Siege players all around, like Bikini Body. Who else? I know.
Wasn't
Badger, Badger, Soup,
Yeah, they sent
the
it.
Do.
Yeah, they sent it. They sent. Yeah, the Do.
guys.
They sent it to not only the pro scene, but they sent it to the casual
They
scene
sent
too.
it.
Because they
sent
wanted
it
to.
the
Because
casual.
we're all Russian Badger fans here, right? We all
Yeah,
remember
we all
watching
are.
Russian Badger's Siege videos. I don't think
Mhm.
any of us tuned in to watch Bolo every now and like I did, but we didn't mainly watch that for fun. We mainly watched it because like, holy shit,
You
Bolo's
mainly
really good at
watched
this
it-
video game. To learn.
And you also watched it to like learn strategy.
Yeah.
Learn
But I don't
placement,
watch Russian
learn...
Badger now to learn how to play the game. I watch Russian Badger because it's fucking funny. You know, so it
Yeah.
was a really smart decision on their end. That's just really good marketing, which Ubisoft I think does marketing really well. I don't think Rockstar
And
does
then they'll
marketing too well.
And they'll also sponsor players to play their game as well, especially the casual scene.
Yeah.
And to even go further on that point, what Rainbow Six, you can tell that what Rainbow Six Extraction did was great, because not only is the game, in our own opinion, fun to play, but it obviously did well enough to start getting consistent updates. Previously,
Yeah.
the game only had 18 operators and a set of items. When they released the new Maelstrom this week, not only did they release the new
This
Maelstrom,
week.
they added Zofia.
This week.
Yeah, this week.
Yeah.
As of us recording this, when they released the new Maelstrom, Zofia was added to the game, and they added an
Yeah.
auto turret.
It was
So
just
that's
out of
obviously
nowhere.
good. That obviously tells us, yeah, it was out. Said nothing about
Wasn't
it.
the
just
update? I
happened.
just want to point out. The update was like 231 megabytes. Therefore, there are VR chat worlds that are bigger than Zofia. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
But it's
Zofia kind of
it's
small,
really good
but
because it's really good for that though, because it's good for the game and it's a good indicator that a game is doing well. Star Wars Squadrons had a similar idea.
I've never
EA
played that.
decided to make Star Wars Squadrons. I've played the game. The game was actually enjoyable for me. Granted, that's because I'm a Star Wars fan and I enjoyed the Starfighters.
You're not just a Star Wars fan. You're a Star Wars fucking fanatic.
Yes.
Called out.
But Star Wars Squadrons, it was. I'm going to continue my point. Star Wars Squadrons was a game that from the beginning, people knew it wasn't going to be a game for everybody. EA knew that. It started off as a $40 game, and they even said they're not anticipating updating it. However, if the game does really well, they will add some new content updates. The game ended up doing a lot better than they anticipated, and so they ended up adding the B-Wing and the TIE Defender to the game, as well as a whole bunch of new cosmetics and new loadout items. So
Yeah.
it's
All right.
really good.
Wrapping
It's
back-
really good.
Reeling back to the point, we can express like our opinions on like Rush games and like how we feel about them. So,
Awful.
Well,
Yeah.
before I continue, there is another. I want to say this real quick.
Yeah.
There is another con to delayed games, and that is hype issues. Because the more you delay a game, first off, the more you delay a game, the more you delay a game, the more people.
The more
start
it
getting
becomes
annoyed 'cause they
disappointing
want to
on
play the
release.
game.
yeah, the more
Oh,
the
that's
expectation.
so
I
true.
get that. Yeah.
Yeah, the more
Yeah.
you delay a game, the higher the expectation. What is there a game that had happened to? I swear there's a game that happened
Yeah.
to. They delayed it
Battle-
constantly.
definitely
Yeah.
Battlefield.
Finally released.
Definitely.
Not
Yeah,
even,
I'm
not
it-
even, not even Battlefield.
2042.
Literally, I guarantee you, we can say Cyberpunk 2077 with full confidence.
Oh my god,
that
yes.
game
Oh
is
my
way too
God.
They
overhyped.
hyped it.
Yes.
Hyped it so much. They were like,
It was
"Yo, we have this new
so
AI
hyped.
pathing that's like so revolutionary."
They
and
made it-
AIs
they
walk
made it
around
sound
and
like
looks
it was gonna-
worse than GTA 5.
They made it sound
Yeah,
like
it
it
sounded
was
like it was
going to
gonna be
be
like
the
real life.
best. It sounded like it was going to be like the best game there ever was. It was going to be this amazing thing. And then I never played it, but I watched you stream it on a Discord call. And I'm telling you, the way we were so disappointed from all of the hype it gave and how disappointed we were when we were
Exactly.
watching
No,
play.
I
It was
streamed
so
it
bad.
The day I got it. I streamed it the day I got it. Like,
Dude,
fuck,
They
it
also
was so
they
disappointing
did
because
so
you
much.
see
They
the
hired
first
Keanu
mission.
Reeves.
Let me bring up the first mission in Cyberpunk. You have to save this woman, right? You don't know who she is, and then there's this like ambulance that flies out of the air, and like they tell you to step back, and I'm like, whoa, this is so cool. This is like the emergency response team, like they have in GTA 5. You know, whenever you
Yeah.
shoot somebody in GTA 5, they'll come around. They're only seen once. That is it.
Once.
That is the only time you'll ever interact with those people again.
It was a scripted event.
And when you actually and then you have these buildings in Cyberpunk, like they advertised it that like almost everything will be like interactable. Like more than 90% of the buildings in Cyberpunk you cannot interact with at all.
Also,
Like they have no
also to
relevance.
add on to that, you know, our buddy Hayden, me and Sandy's buddy Hayden,
Oh yeah.
he played the absolute ton out of some Cyberpunk, and he like got to a point so high on the map, everything looked like you were playing a PS3 game, and you were falling through the map.
Jeez.
Yeah. There's
you were
still
talking
game
about
breaking
how
bugs,
they're
by the way. If you go the Corpo route and you don't talk to this certain guy at a certain time before, you would be soft locked out of completing the game and you couldn't go back. So, and this is like granted after like 5 hours of gameplay, you would have to restart all over because you were just soft locked out of completing the rest of the entire game if you didn't interact with this
And
one dude.
As well
In a
as
game that
as well as
emphasizes
the
freedom and shit.
the routes approach
yeah.
to the game,
There
I also
is- your
feel like
choices
is
really
very
don't matter.
disappointing.
Yeah.
It's like
Like-
a choose your own style game that still
Yeah.
brute forces you into
I
a
know.
situation that you
it
would.
makes you think that your choices, like Black Ops 2, remember that? Your actual
Yeah.
choices affected the end of the game. But in Cyberpunk, your
Oh,
only
yeah.
choices that really affect the game are choosing Nomad, Street Gang, or Corpo. That is it. Anything else,
And
you'll
the
still
only
be with Jackie.
and the
You'll
only
still be
thing
friends
it
with Jackie.
affects the only thing it affects as well is where you start.
Yeah.
It's the only thing.
That's it. And it doesn't affect the ending either. Not to spoil the game, it doesn't affect the ending. Not majorly at all. It can affect how fast you complete the game, yes, but it doesn't affect how the ending ends, really.
And Sandy, you were talking about how they're supposed to be having they're supposed to have a revolutionary AI. Hello
Yeah,
Neighbor's
the
AI,
AI
is
is
still better
fucking-
than theirs.
Yeah, no. Their AI
Hello
is
Neighbor has a
hands
really
down
good AI.
their AI is hands down one of the least immersive AIs I have ever fucking seen. Like
But
I've
Hello
seen
Neighbor's like
so
an
many
indie
like
game, right?
I've seen reused like bodies. Like there's nothing less immersive than seeing an AI and then walking like a block or two and seeing the exact same one doing something different. That is like game breaking for me. Like at least in GTA, like GTA 5, 2013 it came out, and its AI is still more immersive than that. Like when I go to the beaches of
because
Los
at
Santos,
least-
I still feel like I'm on a beach of Los Santos. You know?
I'd
Yeah,
say the only
that's
thing you
fair.
can get away with that is if that's built around your plot. Like that's a part of the
Start
plot.
the
Having
only
same
thing you've
characters
said,
around.
I feel like, is, dude, that's
No, but
fair.
they're not.
Well, I don't have
Wh-
that much to
what's something-
contribute.
What's something you?
overhyped. If they had just been real with it and said, if this game is not going to be revolutionary at all, because it wasn't. It really wasn't. I don't think it revolutionized in
It's
any
just
way.
gonna look nice and run
It's
poorly.
gonna look. Yeah, it's gonna look
be back.
nice. Marketing wise, they did very well. They marketed the game like everybody fucking bought it when it came out. They marketed it on like energy drinks.
Oh,
they
I
did
already
fucking-
knew I couldn't get
the
the
fucking
game.
yeah, no, but it's like they marketed the game as like not just a game but as an experience. Like this is gonna revolutionize games. They're gonna look back at this and it's gonna be more revolutionary than COD 4. Like fuck, man. Like no,
Which is kind of
No.
like a bit dumb.
it is.
Now, the
Looks
really,
like we
the
lost our special guest again.
revolutionary
That was
things-
actually a quote from one of the head managers who made Infinite Warfare. They said that this game is going to be so revolutionary, you're going to look back at it and say, wow, I haven't seen so many changes in Call of Duty since COD 4. We're talking about Infinite Warfare. Does anybody remember Infinite Warfare? No.
I have it.
The
My dad
story
was a
actually
freaking
really good.
My dad was a
Okay,
COD fanatic,
say this.
so. Mhm.
Yeah, the Infinite Warfare story was honestly really good because Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 didn't have a story, but Black Ops 3, its story was just ass. Black Ops
Awful.
Infinite
It
or
was
Infinite
awful.
Warfare actually did have a story. It wasn't Black Ops, of course, because it's Infinite Warfare, but it was actually really, really engaging, and I actually very much enjoyed it. But the multiplayer, no, like COD 4 was just that's another
Yeah.
level. Like we were playing Pavlov the other day on maps that were there, and I still remember those missions with Captain Price, and it's just
Oh yeah, no.
echoes through.
Especially
Yeah. Wet
Shut up,
work,
Star.
yeah.
What?
Your silent criticism makes me
N-
upset.
It's not
Yeah,
criticism. I'm trying to.
Come on, man. Come on,
Uh,
man.
no, no,
Give me a
no,
time check
not
here.
like that.
We're just talking about Pavlov and how COD 4 and the changes in games and how overhyping a game and expressing it as it's going to change something when it doesn't is a very bad idea. Don't say it's going to
See, now,
revolutionize
games
anything
that
until
don't
it
do
does.
that- See now,
Like Minecraft.
alright, so on the
Minecraft
topic
never
of
said it was
VR,
going to
like, on the-
revolutionize gaming, and I think we can all
But it
agree
did.
that Minecraft revolutionized
Absolutely.
everything.
the first version of that game was made in 3 days. It was called Cave Game. It was called Cave Game or something like that.
Yeah. That just goes to prove that overhyping a game doesn't hype gamers up. It creates unrealistic expectations,
Mhm.
which is not a good idea.
Like whenever the game first released, it only had 2 blocks, grass and cobblestone.
Yeah. I would still hit that up more than Cyberpunk if I'm being genuinely honest.
Oh, anyone
Like, your
would,
creativity
honestly.
in that
glitches,
is so much
so-
better than Cyberpunk.
It has less glitches too.
True, true.
Facts.
The game it'll actually start up.
But no, let's
It'll
talk
actually
about
run.
revolutionary VR games. Let's talk about revolutionary VR games, considering
Pavlov.
what we're all using.
Pavlov is one of the best games
Pavlov.
ever.
All right, now let's think about this objectively because we are pretty biased to it because we've spent tons of hours in it.
Mm.
Now let's just think about it.
We've spent
Let's-
way
let's
too much
think
time
about-
on Pavlov.
I mean,
It's a problem. Save
Pavlov
me,
is
help
still a
me,
pretty good
please.
game.
It is. No, it's because
So
you can
let's
turn
think
Pavlov
about
into
it this way.
anything. Like you can make it
Let's
any
think about
shooter
it
game
this
you
way.
want.
Let's think about Pavlov this way, right? If it wasn't a VR game, would it still be good?
Yes.
I'd
Right.
say so.
There's
See?
that argument. Yes. There's that argument. Same with Half-Life Alyx. I can bring up an example. If you take a game and it's a VR game and it prides itself about being a good VR game but not a good game, it's not going to be a very good game. Because Half-Life Alyx, in my opinion, if you take it out of VR, it's a pretty mediocre Half-Life game. I'm not going to lie. Like,
But because it's
didn't
in
really
VR,
enjoy
it
it.
is a
but
phenomenal
because it's in
experience.
VR, yeah. Because it only works because it's in VR. But if you take Pavlov and put it out of VR, what is it? It's Call of Duty CS:GO,
CS:GO.
which is an immensely
Yeah, Call
popular
of Duty
game.
CS.
Yeah, because it's got
And
it's
then
got
as
Call
well
of Duty
as the
aspects in
modding
it, I'm not gonna
community,
lie.
as well as
Yes.
the modding community of that game is so insane. Like there's not yesterday, me, Sandy, Mega, and someone else that we will not speak of at this current moment in
Yeah.
time.
Mhm.
We're all playing a Star Wars game.
And it was
we were
fucking hella
all playing
fun.
Star Wars with blasters.
Dude,
And
we
we had
were.
to fight Jar Jar Binks, Darth Vader, Darth
was Darth
Maul.
Jar Jar,
Like,
bro.
we were
And
chilling.
I remember
Jar
a
Jar.
moment when when we were on the bridge. You remember the moment we were all just blasting. None of us were saying a word, but I think all of us in our heads, we were 7 years old again, and we were thinking how cool it would be to be fighting in the Star Wars universe. You know, we all had Star Wars
And then-
blasters. We were all just blasting away, and it was fucking awesome.
And
Like
then
really.
Following that very moment, we started going into old COD world, old COD maps,
And we were
like
sweating our balls
High-Rise.
off.
We were playing
High-Rise.
High-Rise, Pipeline, like all of the original maps,
Yeah.
like all of the OGs. We
I
had
just want to say
Bog,
that's
Factory. Oh my god, dude. Damn.
Factory, Shipment. We had Shipment on there. We never got around to playing it, but I do
Yeah,
have
but
it.
everybody knows
And,
Shipment. We've played Shipment before.
yeah.
Is it bad that Shipment on Pavlov has better spawns than the actual Shipment on COD? I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
That's
Call
only
of Duty-
because of
Call
the
of
way
Duty
that
recent
see
time-
Call of Duty.
And what I like about
Call of
Pavlov,
Duty, the way
free
their
fucking
spawns work.
updates. Free updates. They don't pay for this shit.
Yeah.
Like, one of the biggest updates we had, they added how many new weapons? Like,
A bunch. It was the
bunch.
World War II. World War II
The
was
World War II,
was a
the
big
entire
one.
World War II game mode was free. It was a free fucking content.
One
drop.
drop. It was
was
one
one
drop,
drop.
and it had tons of things. It had tanks.
Yeah.
It had
Tanks,
guns. It had
push game mode.
cool stuff.
Oh
it
my
had
god.
brags. It had push.
That
And then there was
check.
the hide drop that was an original CS. Like it wasn't even a CS mod. It was an original Half-Life mod.
Mhm.
It was originally a Half-Life mod that they were like Oogie Boogie.
Yeah.
Initially it was called the Hidden, which is what the mod is actually
Oh
called.
yeah.
But I would assume they got a cease and desist because they had to rename it to the Hide.
I'm not a big fan of the hide. It's cool, but it's like I don't know. I didn't
It's-
have a lot of fun playing it, mainly because of the players we were playing with. They were pretty toxic, honestly.
Oh, whenever I streamed it not a couple weeks ago, me and Caleb were having a blast because
Well, yeah, that's
we were
because
sitting
it's
like
easy to have
we
fun
were
with you and
scared of
Caleb.
we were scared out of our minds. And then I was like, you know what? Screw this. Threw all of my guns, and I said, I'm going on a camping trip. And I looked over at
Yeah.
someone and said, you want to come with?
Which, by the way,
And
stay
they
tuned
did.
for that because we will be streaming Pavlov definitely in the future. So just saying.
Probably after this, I'll be hopping on Pavlov.
Probably. Yeah, most likely. That's the way things go,
So
really.
I have a question for y'all.
Mm.
When it comes to delayed games, how long do you think is the best amount of time? What do you think is the best amount of time
the
to delay a
max.
game for?
Okay, so
Not the
delayed a
max.
game.
That's a
delaying
hard
a game.
one. The best.
Okay, so delaying a game without hyping it, 4 or 5 years
Wow.
at maximum.
Wow, you're going
Without
to
hyping it.
years? See, at that point,
Jeez.
people.
Look,
No,
okay.
you gotta think this objectively.
Without hyping it too much.
You're not gonna be the same person you were 5 years ago, which means you
Also
might not
think
have
about
the
it this
same
way.
interests.
Also think about it this way. Dying Light.
You might be dead
It was
in
a game
5 years.
that was delayed. True, but think about it this way. Dying Light, for example, was delayed for 4 years. Four big
Well, yeah,
ones.
everybody thought that the game was dead. They thought that they weren't gonna work on
Exactly.
it. Like people thought that they put it down.
I'm gonna be
That's
honest,
not. I don't think you want
forgot-
that to happen. I think about a year is
But there
max
was
for
teaser
max
trailers.
test.
But there was teasers.
No,
there
here's the
was
thing.
Yeah, but
things. They
teaser
did
trailers only
release
go so
updates.
far before you start to just lose hope.
Yeah, I would say a year would probably be the best because that's first
Same.
off, that's roughly what Extraction did. It
Yeah.
got delayed for roughly a year, and it turned out really well. Because not only that, I would say if you're going to delay a game, first off, don't make any decision to delay a game until you've had a beta. Because if you're going to delay the game, you should be delaying the game mostly to fix bugs, just to fix up the game, for the most part.
Yeah.
And working on
Mm-hmm.
if it's dependent. I would say by the time you make an announcement to delay the game and you get to the release date, the initial release date, at that point, most of what your work should be is fixing bugs. But let's say you still have to work on core mechanics. You still have to work
Yeah.
on finishing the rest of the game. I would say a year delay is roughly a good place to be.
That's really good. I like that. That's what I said. A year is good. It keeps interest, and it also, if you don't inflate the hype, it's a good healthy amount to wait. I, as a
Yeah.
gamer who games, would be happy with I'd rather a game be delayed than it be rushed. The last thing I want is to be excited for a game, play it, and then get a really bad taste in my mouth because it wasn't finished, and there's game breaking bugs. I would rather the game be
Yeah.
finished when I get it and just slightly have to wait longer.
I also feel like everyone in this room that's played Battlefield 5, in this virtual room, of course, anyone in this
Oh yeah.
room that's played Battlefield 5 would say they would rather it be delayed.
I would rather the game not
They
be
would
made.
rather see it delayed. Okay,
I would
yes,
rather-
fair.
Because Battlefield 5 is the sole
But-
reason why everybody stopped playing
Not
Battlefield
Battlefield
1.
5, I'm sorry, Battlefield 2042. I'm sorry,
Oh,
Battlefield
okay.
2042. We
No,
would have all
Battlefield 5
agreed.
ruined Battlefield
Yeah.
1 because everybody hopped over
Oh,
and
yeah,
then they
no,
stopped playing
it did.
Battlefield. Like, you try to play Battlefield 1 nowadays, Jesus, it takes like 30 minutes to get into a conquest. It's fucking sad.
Yeah.
That's why you server browse, dog. Why you server browse.
But even server browse, there's no good conquest servers anymore. Everybody's just playing Team Deathmatch or the what's that pigeon one? I think that's like the Intel one.
Yeah.
Because there's exploits that you can do with the pigeon. It's really sad. Or they're hacking. That's another thing. But that's inevitable, you know. People are gonna cheat in games that are practically dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like
'Cause, not
Battlefront
many
2,
people are gonna
with
stop
how it
them.
was turned into abandonware.
Oh yeah. This guy, he feels
it
really
was-
bad about Battlefront 2. He's got like a soft spot for it. It's like right in there.
Yeah,
No,
right in there in
dude,
that
the main
stone
thing with
cage.
The one thing that currently needs to be fixed about Battlefront 2 is the one health glitch. That is the main reason why I've not made any videos on Battlefront 2, because there are so many servers that are just infected with that it's like with what
Why do you make a video on
Holy
that?
shit.
Make a
Like-
video like criticizing that and like I don't know. Help
There's tons of
spread the
people that
information
do.
around.
However, EA itself has declined to update the game again. So it's all up to
Oh,
modding,
yeah.
the modding community to fix that.
Yeah, which the modding community for
I'm very
Battlefront 2
excited
is
with-
honestly really good.
the modding community
Oh,
is
yeah, no, they
actively
do.
working
They work
on
wonders.
they're in the process of a big project that is currently just privately released, but they're working to make it public, and I can't wait for that because it is going to be fucking awesome. Because
Yeah, because
they're
now
at this point
essentially-
going beyond. Because they've started being able to go. The main reason why it's private right now is because they can't get banned. It's the only way they're not getting banned right now. But they're in a process of essentially just making mods to continue to update Battlefront 2, essentially.
Yeah.
Because they're doing some of the things they're working on is server browsing, new characters, updated characters. It is a whole thing. One of the funniest things was they once it becomes public, you'll have the ability to do a hero battle where multiple people can play the same hero. And during one of the clips they had, it was like fucking 10 General Grievuses all crawling around, all scurrying across Cray, and it was terrifying to see. One
Yeah,
General
went a
Grievous
little
is
bit off
scary, not
topic there.
10
Yeah, you
of
get
them.
you
Yeah.
talk about Star Wars once. This guy goes on a fucking like manifesto about why Star Wars is the
So,
greatest.
How he pulls out his Ted Kaczynski document.
General opinions on rush games: do not rush a game.
Yeah,
well,
don't rush a
nine-
game.
Oh yeah, no.
delay it.
Rushing a game. Yeah, no. 9 times out of 10, a rushed game ends poorly. 9 times out of
It's
10.
gonna get fucked. It's gonna get fucked by the player base. And
Unless
then,
unless you
what
have
that-
some.
You know what else is that's gonna do? It means that on future releases, people aren't gonna buy your game because
Yeah.
they don't want to waste
People
their
are gonna be
money.
incredibly
That's what's
skeptical.
happening. That's what's happening to CD Projekt Red. All the fucking fan base they built up with The Witcher died when Cyberpunk came out, and now I don't know about you guys, but when Cyberpunk releases a game now, I am not gonna buy it. I'm gonna wait for other people to buy it and see what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
It literally didn't it get removed on Steam for a little bit? It did.
No, it was removed off the PlayStation Store,
That's it. It was removed
And it
off
was-
the PlayStation
and it was-
Store.
and it was never actually taken down on Steam.
Yeah,
I think it was removed
should've
from the
been.
Xbox and the PlayStation Store because of
was,
the
yeah, that's
last
the
gen
one.
consoles.
Yeah, so anytime CD Projekt Red releases a new game, I'm not gonna be the first one to buy it. Because I already did that with Cyberpunk,
Oh yeah, no.
and I swear I
Yeah.
almost refunded the game. But I was like, I'll wait until the game gets updated, but I am very mad because I couldn't run the game at first. It just
Yeah.
wouldn't open.
Yeah.
With
And then there was like
delayed
a lot of
general opinions on
streamers that would
delayed-
have such a good time.
Yeah, and then you see these streamers,
Now-
and it kind of was like false advertising because you damn well know those streamers had much better PCs, but they never brought up, I am running a top spec PC. This game probably won't work if you're on console. And you know why? Because they had to sign contracts with CD Projekt Red if they wanted to beta test it
NDAs.
to not show. They could not show their own footage. They had to show footage that they were given, which is sketchy as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no.
Like, if a game company
At that
says,
point,
"Hey,
you
yo,
just
so
don't
you
sign the
can play
contract.
our game, you just can't show footage of it." If I'm a content creator, that is an instant red flag, and I'm like, well, why? Why can't I
Sorry.
show? Sorry, I can't do that. I actually have what's
No,
called.
yeah,
the-
you get. If somebody does that to you, if somebody asks you that, you deny it, you say no, and then you call them out for it.
Yeah,
Because that deserves
it'll
to
be better
called
for
out
you in the
for.
long run.
So,
And
now,
it'll show
general
other
opinions on
companies
delayed
that you're
games.
willing to call them out on their BS.
Now, when it comes to
But all of us,
when it
as like
comes to-
smaller content creators, we have no problem with calling out big fucking companies. Like, they're not
Oh,
paying
yeah,
us
no.
shit. Like, I'll call them out on their fucking bullshit. EA can suck my dick and balls.
I'm gonna be
Oh yeah,
honest.
no, like
I'm gonna be honest. Even if I was a big streamer, I would still call them out so fast.
I would actually
still
ask
call
them
them out
to
way
give me
too
more
fast.
money. I would ask them to give me more money, and then I would critique them. Sorry, I like money.
it would be
Money
it would
is
be a
good.
proper critique. It'd be like a fair critique anyway.
Yeah, I would,
in that
I would
point.
play devil's advocate like I do with everything in an argument. I see the other person's side, but it just so happens that I'm big brain, and most of the time, person on the other side, they're smooth brain. Therefore, I'm right. That's just how it goes.
I'm right, you're
So,
wrong, get
general
got.
opinions on. Okay, so general opinions on delayed games. If you delay a game, you're
No.
making a big risk, but it can come out with a big
Oh,
reward.
yeah.
No, you are because
Yeah.
Of course.
again, as we stated, the hype issue. But
Uh-huh.
generally,
If it's
generally when you
if
delay
it's a moderate
game,
level
you
of
have an
hype-
8 out of 10 chance. If you delay a game and you're doing things properly, 9 times out of 10, your game's gonna be great.
I can give an example of where not hyping a game actually had a bigger payoff. Halo Infinite multiplayer. They didn't hype it at all. They silent dropped it.
Nobody talked
Like,
about it whatsoever. You're right. Nobody talked about
it was literally
It was all
literally
about the-
ghosted until they were like, "Oh yeah, Halo is 20 years old. By the way, Halo Infinite multiplayer is free right now on Steam." And they had the biggest
December 8th,
like
2020.
they had some
21.
of the biggest like players, like everybody was playing the game. And they didn't hype
they
it
had,
a
like-
single
They
bit.
never even made they didn't even make a major announcement about it. I only saw it because I was on my phone and I accidentally swiped too far. Ended up on a thing where it just gives you like some general news, and I saw Halo Infinite free. I was like, excuse the fuck out of me.
Excuse me? I only heard it whenever
I heard
I
it.
was actually in the store. I was with Tough on call. I looked in the store and I was like looking at Halo Infinite release, and I see play game, and I'm like, wait, is it free? And then Tough's like, no, you fucking idiot, because he had already bought the campaign, right? So he was playing the
Yeah.
campaign. He's like, wait, I had to pay for it, and I'm like, well, this is telling me it's free. And then I read, and it was the multiplayer, and he's like, wait, the multiplayer's out? And we were like, yeah.
Because that like almost immediately afterwards,
Yeah.
I jumped in and it just
Mhm.
confirmed everything. I was like, guys, Halo Infinite multiplayer's fucking free.
Yeah, and I was on the Steam page like, yeah, no, I'm right here. I'm downloading it right now. And it was fucking
I
awesome.
already had it downloaded at that point. I just didn't realize you already
Yeah, it was
but
a
yeah,
really
no,
good.
You delay a game. If you delay a game,
I should probably
you
hop on it.
actually
See what
have to
it's
work
like.
on the game.
You've never played it?
No.
It's pretty
I will
fun.
say, when it comes to I have a whole other thing
It's
about
good.
the multiplayer.
I don't choose to play new games only because I normally can't play new games. So I just choose not to really
Now,
bother.
We did say we were going to talk about Halo Infinite. Now, having brought up Halo Infinite, we said we were going to talk about it later. Halo Infinite is a really weird situation with the release because obviously you had the initial release, you had the stated release date of Halo Infinite being January something, I forgot, like January 20th, and no, that's Extraction. Fuck, I don't remember when Halo Infinite was supposed to release. So like
It was
late December,
a
early
date.
January. It was a date. But obviously they released the Halo Infinite multiplayer. They're releasing stuff in phases, and it's a weird situation. Okay, that's kind of the 50-50 you're throwing yourself in. Because obviously you released the Halo Infinite multiplayer early, and then they later released the campaign. Afterwards, they're releasing co-op, and it's rumored that after they release the co-op for the campaign, then they're going to do Forge further down the road. It's rumored that they'll do Forge further down the road. And it's weird. But if you do it properly, it's a good system to work by because it keeps your game hyped up for a longer period of time. You had Halo Infinite's multiplayer. It released. People said it was going to die. It was going to die very quickly. As it looked like it was starting to die down, the campaign showed up because it was starting to die down. Then the campaign showed up. Hype built up once again. And when the co-op releases, I can assure you, the hype for it will start to build up quite a bit because the way Halo Infinite, the way the campaign is designed, if you even throw in just on one other player, the whole game fucking changes. The amount of bullshit you can get away with will be extreme. And then when you
then there's the
Forge,
speedrunning community.
Hold on. Before we get to the speedrunning community, I want to tie the
speedrunning community.
Warzone. I want to tie the Warzone community with the Halo Infinite and the big streamers. Tie them all into one. Remember all the big streamers, Dr. Disrespect, Lupo, talking about how the game is gonna die in 3 weeks if they didn't add a battle royale. Yeah. Can we just talk about what
battle royales are for big
stupid
streamers?
Statement that was?
Let's kind of say something real quick. Battle royales aren't meant for the casual player. The chances of you actually winning a game against a streamer or a pro player are very slim.
When it comes to certain games, depending on what battle royale you're talking about, Warzone, there's a very low chance that if you are even a decent player, there's a very low chance you're gonna end up in a game with them. Because you're familiar with all that shit about certain streamers using like VPNs to get lower level lobbyists, so that way it looks like they're better at the game than they actually are. That's the thing. I don't know if Apex has had something like that, and I don't think Fortnite has something like that.
No, Apex bans you if you try to do that, but it used to. Used to be a thing, especially with the.
I will say,
wasn't it? Didn't they do that in Australia? Hayden talked about that. Because they had such dog shit lobbies that they would use the VPNs to go to America.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And they would also use
lobbies.
Well, you don't even need to use a VPN. You just need to swap your region in the main menu.
Yeah.
But there's also like
some games
using VPNs in Siege. Like VPNs in Siege. Like one of our good friends. He's in Korea. You know him.
Korea?
Yeah, the guy in Korea that we met on Siege, along with the beta tester. You know who I'm talking about.
Not beta tester, developer.
Autismo.
We talked with Yes. Okay, I know who. I remember now. Sorry, our good friend had to remember the name. Yeah. Fuck. What was his name? Shit. Yeah.
Dude, I didn't want to say Autismo.
No, it was Autismo. Yeah, he was not only that, he's a developer. He was a developer of Siege.
No. That wasn't Autismo. Autismo wasn't a developer.
No.
It was
No. I'm talking about we met a developer, not a beta tester.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Meet a developer that was playing the game.
And then he brought to light a lot of the darker sides of working with Ubisoft. And also why headshots don't work in Siege. We finally got an answer. Do you guys know? I don't know if we told you.
Yeah, me and
I was
Sandy
there for
know
that. I was there for that
headshots don't
conversation.
work
You were
in
there for
CS.
that, yeah. Star,
'Cause I know exactly
do you
what
know
you're
why
talking about.
headshots don't work? It's because the head
What?
is somewhere near to the shoulder, apparently. And when the operator is leaning
Whenever you're
left,
leaning.
yeah, when you're leaning, it like changes where the head is. So the head on the model, because they all use the same model, the head on the model isn't accurately where the head is. So that's why whenever you shoot somebody in the head when they're prone or crouched and leaning, it's just completely fucking bugged. And they can't fucking fix it because it would mean they would have to go and change the models, all of them.
That also
That is some
that
absolute
also
fucking
shows
bullshit.
like
Yeah, and they won't
Also,
fucking say it.
that also explains why a lot of pro players don't aim for the head. They aim like
Yeah,
downwards towards the
they go for the
neck.
consistent. They go for the neck or upper body because it's more consistent.
Yeah.
They'll go for the part that
And-
actually will consistently get kills.
Yeah, and also let's be honest, in pro play, after the countless many hours I've spent looking at Pro League, you're not gonna be in a head-on engagement most of the time. It's mostly gonna be watching an
Oh, no.
angle,
It's
waiting
always
for
gonna be
somebody to walk
spraying
by,
through a wall.
spraying through a wall, knowing they're gonna be there, getting a call, shooting at a ping through a wall, getting it, or throwing a blind smoke through a rotate hole made in CCTV and getting it in cache and smoking out the or making a rotate to watch bottom red through construction. That's mainly what it's gonna be. But for the casual community, everybody was like,
this
"Why the
man
fuck
has
don't
gained
headshots work?"
this man
Huh?
has gained a useless talent. Useless talent. He can like 99% accurately. Like he is very good at guessing who's banning who in Pro League. Just because of how long he's done it.
He really is good at it.
Yeah. Mm.
No, I will
Oh.
say,
Yeah.
Like
back on
most of the
Battle Royale-
time he
when
is
it comes to
correct.
the Battle Royale subject, when it comes to that Battle Royale subject, I think that would be a subject for another day.
Yeah.
'cause
No,
that is
we have
definitely
infinite
something we can go
talk
on a full
arounds.
tangent
Like,
about.
I'd say this idea has been one of the best ideas we had for TTC in general.
Hey yo,
What's
I'm
the
looking
damn-
at my
oh, is that
watch. It
time?
is now been an hour, so we are now technically officially going into topic tangent. So as long as it is even just the slightest bit related to the original topic, we can go as far as we want for the next 45 minutes.
I don't want to talk about too much again, because again, we can bring up these points in later podcasts, you know.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I want to talk mainly about how well this was constructed, the podcast. All of us played a really good part in this.
All thanks to
I just wanna say, I'm very
this
proud of
one
all of
right
us, yeah.
here.
Oh,
That
come
one,
on.
right there. Main part of it.
That one.
Like, holy shit.
Main contributor. She did
actually,
everything.
Yeah.
She's the
Did
one
all
that
the
got
hard
us all
work.
together.
Yeah.
He
'cause
woke me up.
we were
I was
all
sleeping
we
in
were
the
all
call.
Demotivated. We were all demotivated as fuck. Like, we were all just kind of sitting and
We did not want to do this. I was literally asleep.
I was just dead.
I did
I was
wake you
like,
up. I had to use my
Everything.
gamer summoning
I was
act.
just dead to the world. I didn't want to, but after doing this,
Yeah,
I'm
anytime.
really happy right now. After we've talked about.
Oh yeah,
shit,
no,
you
me
know?
too. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
after this we're probably gonna have another conversation about something else, but that's regardless. That's besides the point. We're gonna be talking
besides
about
the
what we
point.
want to do.
We can
in
we
the
can
next
just talk
episode.
about random stuff now at this point, cause like.
I mean, yeah,
right.
we've
So if we wanna
got
talk
plenty of
about-
time.
So let's talk about
what's
the future
something-
of this
what's something
channel.
pretty
I think
important?
we should kick Barry or Mega. Sorry, we should kick
Oh
Mega.
yeah, no,
I
ban.
slipped.
ban.
Sorry.
Absolutely
ban Mega.
ban.
Ban Tough. Ban Ike Girl. Ban Cooper.
Jeez.
Ban. I think our funniest moments have been when we're just playing Siege, just talking about
Playing
random shit.
game. Like
Yeah.
now the thing is we would have so much content if we would only record more. Like even when we're just
Exactly.
talking, playing random games, we have some of the funniest things happen.
Yeah. Which is why.
But I mean,
it's
also
good to just
contrary
stream
to that, we also have some pretty deep talks that we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some shit we don't wanna. We don't wanna. Nah, yeesh. Not really. Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's the ill and then there's some ill-placed some illy timed jokes made by both parties.
Yeah. I will be the one to say the people who say they're bad at Siege, they are genuinely the scariest. Like Star, Jake, Daniel,
Oh
and
my
Lemon are like the 4 people I can mention that legit
Your head goes down, and you're like, I'm not
they
good.
legit
That's
I'm gonna act
it's
like she's not
saying
here
with
because
confidence.
she's gonna say she's not good, but I'm just
I'm
gonna
t-
say
what?
the shit that I've
She's
seen them
genuinely one of the
do
better players.
out of
What?
all
What
the
do you
fucking bully
mean?
I've watched. No, can I just say I've seen better reaction time out of you than I've seen out of fucking Fabian from G2 from like
What?
4 years
No,
ago.
no, no, no. Okay, not no, no,
Genuinely.
no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no way. You're capping.
Yes.
No.
Like your mechanical skill isn't all there, but your reactivity, your
reactivity,
lightning
yeah.
fast response time.
There
Like
are
yeah,
two
your mechanical
types-
skill isn't all there, but you have the reaction speed.
There are 2 types of Siege players. There are the mechanical, and then there are the game sense people. Barry is a good example of like, he knows map knowledge, he knows strats, he knows bands, he knows rotates, he knows common plants, right? But mechanical
I'm more of a
wise, it's
casual
just not.
styled player.
Yeah. Well, we're both mechanical players, I'd say. We know the game,
I'm
but
a-
we lean more towards mechanical, I would say.
Yeah.
Easily. Like, we're better at the pointy
And it-
shooty. We're
Yeah.
Ash Jaeger mains. Don't fucking
Whenever
lie.
I want to be.
Don't fucking lie.
Yeah, I know.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Like we just
We
kind of
can't
run
wipe
and
that
gun.
off our
Like
record,
we're
yeah.
no brains. And then this one
Yeah.
right here,
And then there's
she might
Star.
not know a lot, and she might not say she's good, but when she has
But,
those
oh my
moments,
God.
she is absolutely bopping.
Insane.
Stop.
Just absolutely insane in the membrane. It's fucking crazy.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
no, she goes
look.
insane in the membrane.
Oh, we got a first time
okay.
chat, Pug. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
we got. Yeah, Moncleese. But
Pug, alright. Let's go. My tracking.
okay,
broke.
look,
Fuck, what happened to my leg?
no. Look, okay,
Yeah.
I'll
We're
admit
just talking about random shit now.
sometimes I have those moments where like I don't know why, but I'm never with you, Sandy, when they happen. If you're there, I'm bottom fragging, but if you're not there, I'm top fragging. There's no in between, and I don't understand it.
Yeah, there isn't.
I'm
there really
sorry.
isn't.
There isn't. No, I can
You're
truly
just
agree.
intimidating.
When we were playing on border, not border. When we were playing on a fortress, and it was just I was getting frag after frag after frag. You hadn't even entered the building. I am so sorry. It was just
Me
I
and
don't-
Sandy were 3 speeds. We rush in. We kill half the
Look,
team.
that's not my
immediately.
complaint. I'm not
That is true.
complaining.
You
I'm
have
just
your worst
saying.
moments when I'm there. I don't understand why.
You're never gonna be
Like,
able to
lie-
You're never gonna be able to
that was
witness.
one of my best games, by the way. That was one of my best games. I predicted somebody peeking long, somebody peeking stairs, and somebody being
did.
far right.
Yes, you did
single
call.
one of those
You called
happened in
every
that
one of those
fucking order.
in that order. Yeah. Jeez.
In that specific fucking order.
Like,
as well as
I
you
still like
it's-
also
that game.
called
I'm gonna make
out
a video
like
on that game. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
go ahead, Star, about
so-
you saying you're not good, but you're actually an absolute
But you're
god.
actually really fucking good.
Shut up.
Continue.
Okay, look.
Continue with the lies.
It's weird. What I'm saying is like, it's weird. Sandy is like a bad luck charm, but I'm his good luck charm. If that makes sense.
Wow. Okay, so I'm a bad omen now. All right.
No, not in that
Yeah, you're a
sense.
bad
It's just
omen, you're a bad influence.
This is gonna make
That's-
hosting.
You're bad
This is gonna
influence.
make the two of us hosting be even more interesting.
no. Oh my god, that's
Alright,
not what
bet.
I.
I bring.
The dynamic.
No,
Wow.
that's not what I
Alright,
meant.
the
Okay,
dynamic
look,
here.
that's
The
not what I'm
dynamic here.
saying.
Do you guys hear that,
Look,
chat?
no,
Oh my
stop.
god.
Sandy, look, I don't understand it, but if I'm solo or with like one other person, I am top fragging and I don't know why.
Usually it's
But
me.
once I'm playing with you, I'm bottom fragging and there's no in between. I don't know what else you
Okay,
want me to
so
say.
what's your
Good
mindset?
package, it's only $15
alright,
a
Star.
month.
Star. $15 a month on PhoenixCheats.com. Yeah,
Oh,
of course.
come on.
Shut up. That was a little bit cheesy, I'm not gonna lie.
Anyway, no, really though.
Host to drama.
I would say
that
the
is
whole
true.
psychology. I would really just say the whole psychology behind all of that would probably be the whole
Touching my leg,
psychology on
sorry.
that. The whole psychology would probably be like, oh, Sandy's here. He's a good player. I don't really have to try that hard.
What?
You're
No,
gonna
that's
have
not.
to try too much.
That's not my mindset. My mindset when Sandy joins me is, oh shit, we're gonna get in much more difficult lobbies now.
That is
Bam.
true. Every time we play, when Tough and I played, we played against creator xSet. Which, if you don't know anybody who's watching, xSet is a pro league team who were just in the Rainbow Six Invitationals. So they're kind of a big deal. And almost 9 times out of 10, I'll have at least a diamond. If I solo queue, champion. Almost every time, I come across at least one champion. And that's why I don't play the game alone anymore. Because it's like, they're matching with people that I'm just not on the same level with, at least same playing field. If I had at least a team coordinated, I could probably take them. Because I have. I took down the #1 champion in a 1v4 clutch on border. I have it recorded. And, you know, it just goes to prove that it doesn't take a team, but it takes the will of one person to be the best at something, you know? But I don't want to be the best. I just want to have fun with the game.
Yeah.
And I was in a really dark
As
place
well as
whenever I
there's, like,
tried to be really good at the game.
Yeah. Whenever he was trying to be really good, like, there's been countless times where he's just been, like, calling me up, like, bro, can you play, bro? Can you play? I'm sad, dog. I keep
Yeah.
losing, man.
Yeah.
And then you'd get me, and then you'd get, like, bot lobbies, pretty much. So you'd be like,
Yeah.
thankfully, I can breathe. And I'm like, man.
See, that's my
he's
number
just too
one
good.
thing. That's my number one thing is whenever I play alone or only with one other person, I get in easy lobbies, so it seems like I'm a good player and I top frag all the time. But then
You
once I'm with
actually
Sandy
really
and I'm
are,
getting
though, a good
into
player,
better
though.
players,
Because me
then
and you would play.
I'm bottom fragging.
Because me and you would play, and even then, you still did really well, regardless.
Yeah.
Look, my only
It's not
thing
about
is
what, it's not
regardless
about
like
what other
of what
people
you say.
It's not about what other people
Regardless of
think.
what you
It's about
say.
how you think. But from an outside perspective, looking in, when I'm spectating you when I die, inevitably, because I always do, and I watch your gameplay, your crosshair placement and your movement is like apex. Like it can't be beaten. Like genuinely. Like some things you could work
Your
on.
reaction time,
maybe
great.
working on rotates and some strats. That's about it. If you did that, easy fucking diamond player, hands down.
no, I'm not gonna
Oh
be
yeah,
a
no,
diamond.
you're very no star. Let's kind of get this room sounded clear real quick. You, in and of itself, are an excellent FPS player, regardless of what you might say, regardless of your mechanical skill. If only you would improve on that and you would do it more. You have outstanding, outstanding sense of direction and where people are going to be at.
So anyway, when are we robbing this bank?
Oh Jesus Christ!
You can place you have very good crosshair placement. You know where people are gonna be. The only problems you have, the only ones, is a little bit of game knowledge, which isn't that hard to get to.
Yeah.
And then there's just a little bit of fine tuning on your aiming and your hit probability. That is the only things
Target,
that need work
I would call
on.
it more
And then,
target acquisition, where to aim.
yeah,
I think we're stressing Star out,
course.
honestly. But again, back to
It's just like
Minecraft.
Hold on.
Sorry, I killed it. So there's this funny story in Minecraft. Chandler, Chandler helped me cover it up. We
Sandy.
accidentally killed Star's cats in Minecraft, and it was really
Sandy.
funny.
Okay,
Huh?
look,
Sandy.
stop.
Oh.
Look,
EA
all I'm
Sports,
going,
it's in the game.
all I'm going to say is I give all the credit of my reflex and movement abilities to Osu. And that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, no, of course.
Literally, I have
Of
played
course,
so
no.
much
You hit up
Osu
a
that
run
my
with Osu,
aim,
you're a god in Siege.
basically that's the thing. My reflexes have mostly just come from I'm hitting a note, I'm in the middle of hitting it, I see another note, a good few things in my peripheral, I can get to it and hit it in time. My reflexes, I'll admit, are pretty impeccable. But other than that, the
Let's
rest of
tie-
it is
let's
kind of
tie-
just
let's
mediocre.
tie- Let's tie it back
kind of
to
Tie it
more
back?
random topics. All right.
Mhm.
Jake just mentioned that he played Minecraft in VR for the first time. We know a lot
Ooh.
about that.
Ooh,
Ayo.
I was playing it yesterday. I actually fell
Yeah.
asleep playing it yesterday.
Interesting
my
idea
house,
we
and it
could
was
do.
scary.
A TTC group idea is we can make a group Minecraft server in VR.
I actually already have a
Yeah.
server set up if we all want to play it later.
I'm just saying
You just
that
gotta
would be a
download
really.
the thing. I have it in chatting.
I know. So
I have the
Jake,
mod
if
in
you'd be
chatting. We
interested
can all
in-
download it.
I don't think you'd mind Jake joining. Like the more the merrier.
Oh no, I don't mind.
Right.
I mean, it's
TTC is
it's an
open
Adderno
to
server,
anyone.
so it's not gonna be the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah, that's an interesting
It's
idea.
an Adderno server, so it's not
So
the best.
another
but,
question.
the
This is
IP
like off topic completely as well. How often do we want to do these podcasts? Do we want to do it like weekly? Like
every Friday.
I was
Every
was
Friday?
thinking that,
Friday,
but like
upload the VOD on Mondays
if I
Wanna
can get
keep
it
it
done in
consistent?
time.
to start the week off right.
Yeah.
While I think it's a good idea to keep it consistent, at the same time, I feel like we're all gonna have those days where, like, this is the type of thing I would like to say. We're all bored. We don't know what to do. At least me and Sandy are available for some sort of free time, and we have no idea of what to do. I like this to be something of, hey, you want to record a podcast episode, as something we could just go to.
Yeah.
So, like, at the
Mhm.
same time,
Yeah.
sure, we can try and keep it consistent to do, like, a Friday upload on Monday type thing. But at the same time,
Yeah.
we should also be able to just do it whenever we want to. We shouldn't
Daily.
limit.
Also, Star.
Okay,
Quick
Jake,
question.
it is not
Also,
gonna
Star.
be
Quick
daily.
question.
okay. Let me just say
Also, Star.
something.
Very, very, very quick question.
What?
That is very important. Did you set the VODs to save?
Yes, I did. Don't worry, I got that down.
Okay. Jeez.
Okay.
Bro, imagine if we just didn't have audio at all. Like.
Oh no, I have been checking my audio so much. Like,
Yeah.
please tell me they're not muted. Okay, the
That'd
bar's
be-
going up. We're
that'd
good.
be really funny if we
But-
recorded. I think we got some like really big plot points in here. Imagine if the video blows up, right? And CD Projekt Red reacts to it, and they're like, "All right, we're making Cyberpunk 2078."
We're not going to talk about it for
But-
the next 13
but-
years. So all of our child audience is going to be grown up well into their
Dude,
30s
okay.
by the time
So, do you
we
want me to
release
scare
it.
you guys with something?
hold on
When
before.
GTA 6 releases, one of us will, well, most likely, one of us will be like, will probably have kids. That's
Yeah.
Please-
spooky.
No,
I mean,
don't even. Quickly doing a U-turn back to what Jake said in chat. I'm the one editing and uploading these VODs that are going to be around 2.5 hours long. We are not doing this daily. I will have no free time left and I will die of stress. Thank you very much.
Worth it, in my opinion.
Literally.
Oh,
I'm
come on.
Oh, new topic. I got a
Moving on from
topic.
this.
Music.
Oh,
Music,
yes,
music,
music.
music.
Something I can
Favorite
actually
music.
get
Right.
into.
Favorite artist, go.
Music. Favorite.
Oh,
Okay,
I don't
favorite
have a.
artist,
I
go.
don't. I don't know if I have a favorite artist.
I got a question for you. I've asked it to everybody. I'm not gonna say rappers anymore. I'm gonna say top 5 most influential artists in your opinion.
Oh, damn.
Or top
Okay.
5
Fire
biggest
top 5.
artists, or top 5, or your own personal top 5, like the ones
Yeah.
that
My
you
personal
think of
top
whenever you
5.
think
The
of
ones you
music.
think of when you think fire music. Who do you think of?
Fire music. I'm trying to think of like artists I genuinely listen to like a lot of their music. I definitely like AJR. They're a really good band. Imagine Dragons. Definitely Imagine Dragons in there.
Of course.
Melanie Martinez. Melanie Martinez. She's definitely a really good one.
Okay.
I keep hearing the score popping in my head. The score.
Yeah, the score is pretty good. Yeah.
Scores. And probably the only other thing coming to my mind is Joji.
Okay.
Time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
for
have
me-
made some updates
for
to
me-
mine. Do you want to go first?
For me, yeah, for mine,
Okay.
because I never actually answered your question. My top 5, I
Oh,
would of course say, from lowest to highest influence, I'd say San Holo. You know him. He did Light. He was pretty good. It was pretty good music, and he was a artist that I always kind of
Yeah.
look up to, and that's one
Yeah.
of my main inspirations for whenever I make music. And next would probably be Joji because his music is just good
Bop.
and
Yeah.
a
Absolutely.
bop, as well as his Filthy Frank stuff. It's funny,
Yeah, they're more
more
poetry
on the lighthearted
in a way.
side.
I'm just saying.
Okay,
Yeah.
but she's
Because
so
I
nice.
remember a few things about his music, about Joji's music, not even his Filthy Frank music, his Pink music, that star that I've done, and it's funny because never mind. I'm not gonna go into it because you'll get angry. However, like other times, like other artists such as I would say in my top three, you'd probably have to go with like more heavy stuff. Not as in
Uh,
like sad, but more of like
Yeah.
heavier
Emotional.
things. No, my
Yeah.
my top one, my top would probably have to be like uh one only would probably have to be like my top,
Yeah.
just as an
Yeah.
overarching person
Bop.
to the whole genre itself, the whole
Yeah.
genre of trap rap itself. It's great. I enjoy a lot of it, and that's mainly coming from an EDM background perspective. And then there's a lot of like lower tier artists that I listen to. Those would probably have to be second. That also do some of the same thing that one only does. And sometimes I feel like even they do it better. Kind of like Halfway Mine,
Yeah. Yeah. I see that. I
like
see
that
that.
song.
Yeah. I would say
It
those
isn't
are
even
pretty
necessarily.
fire. So I've made some updates to mine. So I went with obviously X. You know, his music was really, I got through some tough times with X. You know, I'd say recently I've really gotten into one only due to somebody at this table. Um, pretty good bop, not gonna lie. And my third one, 21 Pilots, not gonna lie, kind of sad.
Ooh, that's a good. That's a good.
Nobody else said that here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good one.
21
I didn't even
Pilots
think
really
of that
fucking
one.
good. Yeah, because you said Imagine
No one ever
Dragons, and I'm like,
really thinks of good.
damn, nobody thinks of 21. Like, Imagine Dragons and 21, I'd say, are like very similar in their style of music. Of, like,
21.
Yeah, I feel like
That's a
some
really
people
good
could
one.
even get them confused.
Yeah, 21 and
I feel like some people could even
Imagine
get them
Dragons definitely.
confused.
I also I'm trying to think. Second, I don't know. Because if I was talking about rappers, I would definitely add Kendrick Lamar. Just definitely, because his music is
Mhm.
fucking fire. And I don't know, I want to add him here, but I could also be like, Goat Yeah is also good. Somebody that you used to know, fucking Bob. Fucking
Oh yeah.
Mirrors, Smoking Mirrors, really fucking good. So I'm probably gonna put them because they're small and they were
I mean, to
practically
be
nothing.
honest,
They were
for
only known in
YouTube
Australia.
video sakes, also for YouTube video sakes, we could leave some of our like favorite music in like a little playlist
Yeah.
that we can create for
Anytime
YouTube
I
and
come
stuff.
across a bop and I play it in the
You can put it
Discord,
down.
fucking Tough is always like, bro, this is a bop. I'm gonna steal this from you. And it's like, all right, go right ahead. Like,
Well,
music
that's what
is free
happens for
sharing, whatever.
me. Either
I've also
Tough
been really
shows me
getting into
songs
Lund.
or I show him
Lund is
songs.
another good one. That's the last one I would say. I've been really getting into their music. I really like it. Reckless is fucking fire. It honestly, I relate too much to
Yeah.
it, so it scares me. But it's like
And then there's some music that you relate to too much, and it just becomes
too
sad.
much, and it's just we don't talk about it. We don't talk about it.
No, I get
We
it
don't gotta
though.
talk about
I get it though. There's
Yeah.
some music like how I introduced Star to a an artist called Eve with Ghost, with the song titled
I'm.
Ghost. It was kind of funny. You don't
Oh
remember it,
yeah, that. Oh yeah,
probably,
I know
but
you're
you were like,
talking about.
but
Wasn't
you
that
were
SoundCloud
humming
one?
along with it. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know you're
yeah,
talking about.
it was. It was the one I recommended to
Interesting.
you, and you were like, "Man, I'll listen to it." And you were like, "I relate too much with this song. I hate you."
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny.
the
from each of
conclusion
us?
back. Rushed and delayed games. Don't
Rushed
rush
and
the games.
delayed game.
Developers.
Don't rush a game.
Take your
Don't-
fucking time. Take your time, but not too much time. And if you take too much time, just cancel the game, honestly. Or just
Or
let them know you're working on
Don't-
it, you know?
don't
Don't
hype
just
it
go-
though. Don't like do some
Yeah.
game. Don't do some extravagant like partnerships like how CD Projekt Red went with Keanu Reeves because he is an absolute icon.
Yeah.
Like put his face on anything, it's a hit. But
It
just
is.
know there's going to be so much backlash if any one thing is wrong with it.
One thing is wrong. And not only do you fuck yourselves, you also fuck Keanu Reeves. Because now it's like
Yeah.
you've put a bad image on him too. You know? And nobody appreciates that. Overhyping.
No
Alright.
one likes an overhyped game. No one does.
No one does. So
No
just
one.
a little mini discussion here. We shall discuss possibly what our next episode's topic might be. Curious.
All right, so brainstorming
we've
because
got
we
some-
have no idea.
We've
Well,
got
they
some.
don't.
Well,
I'm
we've got some.
This was
here.
literally a random thought. Less than more than 2 hours ago. Just sitting in VC, be like, "Fuck it, we
It
had
was a
this
shower
idea a
thought.
long time ago. Let's
Literally-
fucking do it."
Yeah, literally, when we were first
shower thought.
creating Two Times Chaotic, like when I was first, like when me and technically Cross were coming up with the first ideas for Two Times Chaotic, one of the ideas we had is like, yo, we should have like a series called Idiotic Logic or a podcast titled Chaotic Topics. I remembered that, found the old notes for it, and when I found the old notes for it, we went off with it. We made idiotic logic a subgenre. That's also going to be another thing. When we're thinking of ideas for topics, we have 5 subgenres that it could possibly be a part of, or an open statement type thing. We have idiotic logic, where we talk about the stupid logic or the lack of common sense of something more specific. We have Reddit redemption, where we're trying to give Reddit a second chance, maybe
Oh,
going
yeah,
on
we need
some
to do that.
r/am I the asshole.
Reddit will never get a chance. Reddit's just bad.
Dude, I don't know why I installed that cursed app. I don't get on it. I just have it.
Yeah.
And I get so many random
That'd be
subreddit
interesting.
threads.
We also have
But it's
Blast
just
to the
like a
Past,
really wild
with,
thing.
where it's just a trip down memory lane. And we also have Vine Climb, where we, look at some older vines from the past, or maybe specific viners, and talk about them for
Or
a day.
even older or even like Musicallys.
Or that,
even
yes, that
Musical.lys
is
at
true.
this point, because Musically
And then we have Meme Memoir, where we just look at specific memes that we want to for that day. Sounds simple enough.
There's a TV right out of frame where we can watch.
Yep,
things
right
off of.
behind us, where we can set up a different camera angle, and you get the idea. We can watch whatever we need to there. Now some of the ideas we've talked
Yeah.
about recently, like while we were in there, obviously, one topic we could do is do a Reddit redemption of r/am I the asshole, and read some of those off, because those are quite interesting, if I say so myself. Or we have another option of remembering old content, which is
most of the time the answer is yes. Most of the time.
and
the
there's
answer to
also
the
and the other option we can do
question
is
yes.
a subgenre of Blast to the Past, and we go back and relive some of our older content, whether it be on Battlegrumps, one of our personal channels, stuff like that.
Closing statement. Kids, stay away from men in
Closing
white
statements.
vans. All right.
And
Yeah,
a
please,
little
if they
piece
tell
of,
you they're gonna give you candy, they're
little
not.
piece of
Just
gamer
don't listen to
advice.
them.
They're not gonna give you candy.
Little
Actually,
piece
they
of
might.
little
Actually, now that I think
little
about it,
piece
yeah.
of gamer advice.
If you see a white van and a man in it, and they offer you candy, take it, because you gotta think, what would Jeff Bezos do?
So anyway,
God damn it.
a
I'm
little
just
piece
saying.
of gamer advice. If anyone is ever being mean to you or bullying you, just know or do as I say. Grab an asbestos-covered knife and take out their knee.
We hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of Chaotic Topics. We are hopefully going to be doing this a lot more often, and soon the edited version will be on the channel whenever I get that edited. So, I've been one of your hosts, Star. Sandy's been your other host. And we have the special guest, Mello. And
Emphasis on
Yeah.
special.
we'll see you guys later.